On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
I'm talking about the tone in which you say things. Like, I don't think that women should tone police men, and I don't think men should tone police women. If you don't like what I say, then you don't like it. But you're not going to say that what I'm saying is not valid or I'm proving somebody right just because you don't like how I'm saying it. Because I don't like how a lot of the men say stuff on the panel. But
But it's not only about tone, it's communication. Because so this is the difference. Logic, you're wrong. Logic, you're wrong. You see the difference?
No, y'all, but
like
y'all,
it's communication and tone. Like you calling him whack, you wouldn't like it if he said something to like in that same offense though.
But he did. He said a lot of stuff I don't like all night.
Okay, but see, this is the point. If
you don't like it, you don't like it.
Okay.
You'll get over it. But this whole thing, oh, if I don't like it, then you wouldn't like it. That's a lot of shit I don't like. What am I gonna do? Cry? You gotta just get over it. There are things that people are gonna say and do that you don't like.
It was real talk. Why the fuck are we sitting up here arguing about that? That's 2 million more that those schools didn't have. Why are we even talking about that? You was gonna spend that money with Ralph Lauren anyway. So why are we wasting time there when we should be figuring out what are they doing and how we gonna hold them accountable for their resources? Tired of this shit, man. We ain't got time. We do not have that type of time. Hey, listen, let me say this, and I'm gonna pause. I promise you I ain't gonna say nothing else. When I was in Detroit this weekend, and Anton, you know I got love for you. I love your fucking city, bro.
Shout out to Rilla.
Man, nah, I acted a fool in your city, bro. But when I was in there, man, I saw the development they was doing on Woodward Ave. I drove by Little Seal. I said, oh, that's the interest he goes in. Right? I was sitting up there like, yo.
You looking dope down there, baby.
All that development they doing, and you know what I thought about? How much of that investment, how much of all that they doing in Detroit, how much of that are we participating in? I ain't got time to sit up here and argue with you niggas about what women ain't doing this and who not submitting. That's your issue. That's not mine.
Nope.
I want to bring the resources from these companies back to my community so we can advance the narrative, so we can control the cool. That's what we need to be building on. And we so busy majoring on minor. Yes, can't get no fucking way. Fuck all that logic.
Tell them, man. Tell them.
I mean, I hear what Rilla is saying. Yesterday was a mess. That show, some of the talking points and everything water, like Rilla. That. Rilla, yeah, please swallow some water. Pause. But that just threw my whole mind. But honestly, we are divided, and I don't see it getting better. Honestly, but honestly, I don't take things personal. If logic has a point regarding Black women or chaotic, I feel like sometimes we need to take a step back, listen, hear from their perspective, their viewpoint, ask questions to better understand where they're coming from so we can get an understanding of why they think that, instead of just like jumping down any woman's throat or any man's throat, so we can get a better understanding, so we can kind of get back on one page. Because if we're just going to go back and forth as a community on the panel, we see it here or whatever, how are we supposed to be better as a macro level, right? So I feel sometimes we're all from different places. We have different perspectives, different morals, different standards, but we need to kind of listen to understand it instead of listening to respond. And that's just in general. That's the point of communicating effectively, right? I might not agree with logic on like 90% of what he says, but I want to get where he's coming from. He's from a different logic. Wait. Don't you see?
I didn't say nothing.
I know, but you screwed up your face. I'm reading, you know. But so I think we should just kind of get to a better understanding where people are coming from so we can get back on the same page, because we're all still kind of fighting a fight. So, but I don't honestly see it getting better. I see it getting worse because how everything's going now. I hope it gets better, but honestly, I don't take that whole yesterday thing on that panel, whatever. I don't take none of that personal. So I think hit dogs holler. If it doesn't apply to you, don't feel away. If logic talking about Black women and it's not particularly me, I'm not about to scream down at his throat, or whatever chaotic is pushing to 22-year-olds to 18. I'm not going to, it's funny. I'm just going to laugh at it, you know, but it's good to hear from other people's perspectives so we can kind of gain an understanding of why they think that way.
Let me cook with you.
Hold on. I think Kayla a little mobile, so let her go ahead.
Not a little mobile.
Said Kayla.
I get where you're coming from, Q, and that is being like the bigger person, and like I get where you're coming from. But when niggas are saying wild shit, I do not care. Like, I'm gonna say whatever. If you're saying disparaging things about black women, it doesn't matter if it doesn't apply to me. That affects the image of black women, and there's already enough negativity out there. So yeah, it may not apply to me, or it may not be worth whatever, but I'm going to say something about that. I'm going to call that out. I'm going to say you're trash. I'm going to address that. So I think like saying like letting things roll off your back if they don't apply to you, yeah, okay, but no, because if you're in my space or in my presence saying things that I feel like are disparaging about my people or about my community, I'm about to check that shit, period.
Okay, I fully get that. Wait, can I say something real quick, Logic? I fully get that, but I feel like to not prove his point in being right regarding how black women communicate, because you are sometimes proving them right when they talk about a certain type of black women, right? So I have disagreed with everybody on this panel except for JR, because he don't barely talk.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
There's a way you can kind of disagree with them in a certain manner. So I get what you're saying, but there's a way you can come off and checking your tone and communication level. So you're proving him wrong when he says black women are this or black women are that. Because if you're not, and you're doing rah or cussing him and saying you're whack, what's his name? Chaotic, you're proving him right. So
No. If he's whack, then he's whack. You're not gonna tone police me about how I say that you're whack. Like, no. Like,
would you like
if you're whack,
would you like it if he called you out your name? Like, so
I never called him out his name.
Okay, let's say he called you a word that was disrespectful.
Right, but we're talking about tone. You said tone.
Okay,
I'm talking about the tone in which you say things. Like, I don't think that women should tone police men, and I don't think men should tone police women. If you don't like what I say, then you don't like it. But you're not going to say that what I'm saying is not valid, or I'm proving somebody right just because you don't like how I'm saying it. Because I don't like how a lot of the men say stuff on the panel. But
But it's not only about tone, it's communication. Because this is a difference. Logic, you're wrong. You see the difference?
No, y'all, but
like,
y'all,
it's communication and tone. Like, you calling him whack, you wouldn't like it if he said something to like in that same offense, though.
But he did. He said a lot of stuff I don't like all night.
Okay, but see, this is the point.
If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Okay.
You'll get over it. But this whole thing, if I don't like it, then you wouldn't like it. That's a lot of shit I don't like. What am I gonna do? Cry? You gotta just get over it. There are things that people are gonna say and do that you don't like.